Alright, I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff I go through with having bipolar depression and PTSD, ADHD, and anxiety. I'm gonna go through some of the stuff I've been through from when I was a kid with the bipolar depression. Okay, when I was a kid, I had a hard time understanding what was wrong with me and if there was something wrong with me because I knew there was something wrong with me. Had a hard time in school with learning and paying attention and even going to school sometimes because I was bullied a little bit. But to tell you the truth, I got through it as a kid. Now, in my teen years was the harder parts because I still had hormones from being a teenager and stuff, teenager stuff. And also, I lost a friend of mine in my later teens to suicide. Um, he was actually my brother-in-law, lost him. But that was the hardest part with being a teenager, losing someone to suicide that you knew and you loved so much. It was hard, but I got through that, and it made me stronger as a person, to be honest. Got through a lot of things in my life. I've been through so many life or death situations where I got out of it alive. um, and in my other early 20s, I've been in almost fatal two, well, about four almost fatal car accidents, and I'm still here. And with bipolar depression, it's kind of hard to tell when, as a kid, it's hard to tell when that's coming on. So you have to get help and somebody that have a good support system because that support system helps. Now, to people that don't have parents or family or anything, I will tell you to look for God. Look at God, to God for your support system because He helps me too. And there's also therapy out there that can help you, and people out there that get paid to be a support system. People that have nobody, I know that for a fact. Um, Also, medication is key to live a healthy. I know a lot of people say medications are bad, but in mental health, medications actually help you to be able to live a normal life and be able to live with other people. Um, yeah, that's what I'm on medication. I have to be on medication all my life, and it helped me. It helped that my mom figured out there was something wrong with me, and I needed a little more help in life. So it helped early on that my mom found that out. But as a kid, they won't diagnose you with anything until you're older and your brain develops and everything. But they will put you on medication if the therapist or people they psychiatrist sees that there's something wrong, they will try medication. And I will tell you, it takes a long time for you to understand and get on the right medication, but you have to be in it on the long run. Sometimes it doesn't take long, but you also have to look at side effects of the medications and stuff like that. Um, but also, sometimes with my type of bipolar depression, I don't need antidepressants because they mess with my brain and make me very upset. You know, and I can't take ADHD medicines for my ADHD because it makes me feel like a zombie. Stuff like that you have to look for in your body. And as you're finding the right type of medication, you have to basically know your body and know what that medication is doing. And sometimes some medications won't show it until like the medication gets in your system for years and years. And you should always one step key I learned every maybe like 10, 11 years, I'll re I will go back over my medications with my doctors and see what's working and what's not working. And then I'll tell my doctor so that way they can adjust it or fix it or take me off that medication. So I've learned with a couple of medications I've taken over the years, Vraylar is not very good for me because made it made it made suicide an option because it made my thinking foggy. And you have to watch out for that. Watch out for suicide in young adults. Anybody over the age of 20 and early 25, 26 years old and stuff like that. You gotta look at that kind of stuff. Look at the side effects and look at the worst side effects and determine if that's something you've been feeling. That's the key, is you got to be in touch with yourself. If you're not, then everything will just go to go to poop. Like, it's bad, you know. But also, it does help to have be in touch with your body yourself with on medications and stuff, because you know yourself and you know that medication might be doing that thing that it's doing to you, and it's not you. Also, with bipolar depression comes mania. That's what most of the medications I'm on. It helps with that. Also, you got to be able to talk to people and tell people how you're feeling. Communication is key with mental illness. Um, Also, I've been over the years looking at my mental illness as a superpower, because I'm able to understand other people with mental illnesses, and I know how to kind of help them through it. Also, in my experiences, I can share that with other people with mental health illnesses. Um, Now, with the anxiety, I take a small little bit of anxiety medicine. The lowest dose of anxiety medicine works for me. It may not work for you, but the doctors will start you out on a low dosage just to see how it affects your body. That's one key you have to keep in mind. Doctors are there to help, but also you have to help yourself. You have to tell the doctor how it's making you feel. And every time, my key thing, one of my tips I say is, um, go lower dosage so your body can get used to it bit by bit, you know. Take it in stages. Depending on what kind of medication you take, you want to go with the lowest dose of new medications. And another rule of thumb is, every maybe like few years, 10, 20 years, 10, 11 years, depending on how that medication is making you feel, you go back over all your medications and look at the ones that aren't really working. And if you're on the highest dose of the ones that aren't working, then it's time to change that medication. That's what helped me. I'm not saying necessarily that's for you. I'm just sharing all the stuff I've learned over the years with having mental health. Um, but I will tell you that having mental health isn't bad. Every Nowadays, everybody has some sort of mental health. It's hard. Yes, it's hard to deal with, but not impossible. I know that a lot of actresses, actors, and even sport guys, people that play sports have mental health. Doctors even have mental health. So you can go through something and you can deal with it, or deal with it the right way, or you can pity party yourself, say, "Oh, I don't want to do this," or blah blah blah, and self medicate, which I do not advise that. That is the worst way to go about mental health. I've seen it so many times end up in an OD or end up somewhere else, you know? You don't want that. And I've had friends that actually OD'd, and that's hard to see. And I've seen it as a firefighter. I've seen people OD. It's not fun. You Sometimes they never make it home. They never make it back from that. And I will tell you, self medication is the worst way to go about mental health. Even if you don't have that support system, at least try for yourself to go the right route and get help, the right kind of help. Um, but and having a support system really does help in a lot of ways. Having even a friend that will push you to go get help. It could be just a friend. It could be yourself. You gotta want the help though. Also, and PTSD is, there's nothing really they can do about it, but they can. You can get therapists to help you through it and make it livable to live with. You know, anxiety can be helped with medication and help with by therapy. And there's a couple other things you can do. with depression. Bipolar depression is one of the ones that you need medication and you need to talk to somebody and know yourself just before you decide things, you know. Always talk to your doctors, always keep your doctors in key note and everything. But also, one more thing I want to tell you that God helped me through a lot of the stuff I've been through. Been through almost fatal car accidents. Been through a lot. Been held at gunpoint. Been a lot of things I've been through that God helped me through. And being on medications that helped me too. Also, like, don't look at it as your downfall. Look at it at mental health as a superpower because you can understand other people. You can actually help people that have the same thing that are trying to do it the right way. Or if there's a person in your life that's trying to do it the wrong way, you can coach them back to the right way. You can help them. That's how I look at my mental health. I don't look at it as a bad thing, something that I can't deal with, because I know I can deal with it. I've almost died three, four, 5 different times, and heck, I was a firefighter dealing with people like that people just dealing with people every day, being there for somebody on their worst day of their life, you know, and I dealt with that, and also being in the fire department showed me a lot of things and reasons why you have to be careful in life. Also, being in the fire department showed me that life isn't given. You have to live life to the fullest, the best of your abilities, and be a good person because you never know when it's your time to come. And having depression and all that other stuff I have helped me to see that yes, I know how to help myself. It showed me how to do medication management, how to do everything on my own because one day I'm not going to have a support system. All of them are going to be gone to heaven, you know, and I'm going to need to be able to do it by myself too. That's another thing. Teach yourself how to do the medication and do it the right way and everything because sometimes you don't have that person to get you up and do that medication to get your medication in you. So you got to have alarms. Alarms help with medication. Alarms and things that will you can see write down notes on your desk and stuff like that helps, like reminders and everything. And we have cell phones now, so it makes it a heck of a lot easier. We even have like watches that are connected to our cell phone we can set alarms to. That's what I do. I use my Samsung watch or my phone to set reminders to when I need to take my medication and stuff like that. Also, a dog helps a lot with mental health. Just petting them makes you happy. The way they just jump around all the time, depending on what kind of mental health you have. Depression is great with animals. It helps a lot better with animals. Having your dog or a cat, maybe like one dog, one cat, or whatever. Just don't go crazy with it because that can get out of hand too and make you overwhelmed. So yeah, I have 3 dogs. I have a German Shepherd, I have a Yorkie, and I have another dog. She's a Shih Tzu Yorkie mix. My 3 babies, 2 of them were my grandpa's, the Yorkie and the Shih Tzu. My grandpa has passed away last Sunday, and I got his dog, so it helped me a lot to deal with that because my grandpa was my best friend. Also, I want to tell you guys a lot of things in life is gonna make you really depressed, but it's what you do with the depression, how you learn from it to make yourself better and to help yourself with the depression and stuff like that so you stay on top. Um, I'm just trying to tell you all the stuff I've learned through my years of as a kid from all the way up until I was till now, with the depression and bipolar and all that. It's hard. As a kid, it's very hard because you don't know what's going on and people bully you for it, but it does, in the end, it does make you stronger. As you survive through all those phases in school and stuff, it makes you way stronger as a person and it gets you through life. and you could be successful with having bipolar depression, any kind of mental illness. You can be still be successful, but the success comes when you find the right medications and get onto them and keep staying on them, you know? Because it can be easy to get off those medications and just go back downhill. Because trust me, I've been there. And that has happened to me more than once. But right medications, the right people to talk to, and having a support system helps. So, with that being said, I'm just going to tell you guys with depression and all the mental illnesses I have, I keep myself happy. I have to make my own happy. If I don't, then I'm going to just go downhill. And it's hard to get back from that, but it's not impossible. And self medication is not good for you. You want to have the real type of medication, the good type of medication, to keep you sane and keep you from making mistakes and being in jail and being basically another person with mental health homeless. You don't want that. It's hard to deal with, but it's worth it in the end. So, like, I've seen so many people with mental illness homeless on the streets. I've seen veterans homeless on the streets and stuff like that. That hurts me. And I try to help, like, by like getting them food. I don't give them money because you never know. I go actually buy them meals to eat food. And I don't care who sees me doing that, getting them food. I don't do it for the views or whatever. I do it because I care. And I've prayed for many homeless people with them staying right there with me. I just put my hand on them. I say, you know, God's gonna get you out of this. You're gonna get out of this. You're gonna, in the name of Jesus, you're gonna be okay. And I've seen that, and I've done that for people because God has been a big part of my life and a part of me getting my life together and stuff. Um, and so I never forget about him. On my worst days, I'll talk to him. Even on my good days, I'll say, "Thank you, God, for this good day. Thank you, Jesus." Stuff like that. Like, it's hard to do if you never grew up in the church and you're not used to doing that. Yeah, I forget sometimes too. But I always know if I go back and I talk to him, it's fine. You know, you can even talk to God about things as a friend, about things in your life. You know, you can ask him for things, and I will tell you, he if it's something that he can do, he'll give it to you. But if it's something that you don't need right then and there in your life, he won't give it to you right then and there. I will tell you that what God gives you, he can't take away. So just I'm actual living proof of that. Um, but God has been a big role in my life, has done a big role in my life, and I thank him every day for everything I've achieved and accomplished and everything. Um, Also, I want to tell you this one thing, that God will get you through that storm. He will, if you're going through something, the worst thing in the world, you always go to God, even on your good days. You have to go to God because he's not going to do anything unless you come to him and talk to him. And keep talking to him. Don't stop because he is the right way. That's all I have to say. Um, and God chooses people too. And he will choose you if he needs you. And if you don't see that, then that's your loss. God gives you the gift of wanting to know him, and I can't remember the words. The gift of free will, as you as a like basically you can. That means what that means is you can go to God or you can not go to God. You know, like there's a lot of people that don't talk to God or don't know God because and it's because they nobody told them about it or something like that. Also, the other thing is God is just awesome. He does a lot of things for me, and He's done a lot of things for me. He's got me out of a lot of situations, and I wouldn't be here without Him. I've been through a whole bunch of near death experience, car accidents, and any one of them could have took me off this world. But it wasn't my time because God had a lot of other things He needed to do with me. He needed me to do a lot of things and help a lot of people still. Um, but I will tell you, there's a lot of things in life that can tempt you and tempt you away from God. You just have to be the one to see that and say, nope, I'm not doing that. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's very hard. Trust me, it's really hard. But you have to be strong enough to go towards God and not away. Um, Also, one more thing: in every storm, there's a light, and that light at the end of that tunnel is God getting you through it. Also, if you feel like sometimes God isn't there, I will tell you this: He's still there. He's just carrying you through it. He's carrying you through it. You may not see it, but He's right there carrying you through whatever you're going through. And with mental health, I've talked to God all the time because that's what keeps me happy and keeps me okay. God and my medication, my family, that's what keeps me going. And without that will to live, a will to do good for yourself, it's going to be hard. You have to want to help yourself and want to get that help, seek that help with your mental health. That's all the stuff I've been through and what I've noticed in life about mental health and all those struggles I went through with mental health and stuff like that. That's everything I've been through and wanted to share with you guys on my YouTube channel because I've been seeing a lot of things happening to a lot of people in my life and in other people's lives and on the news. This world is divided, and I think that we need more kind people too. And a lot of police don't know much about mental health, so it's hard for them to see the signs because they've never been through it themselves. And I think, out of my opinion is we try to get cops to go through a training with mental health patients and stuff like that so they can see and talk down the issues. But I will tell you, sometimes talking's not the answer with some people. You have to resort to different things. So yeah, but with a lot of mental health, they start self medicating, and that's when they go downhill, and a lot of other things happen. And it's sad. It's a sad road. I don't want to see anybody go down that road because it's one of the worst roads and hardest roads to get back from. Self medicating and all kinds of other stuff. It's hard to get back from, trust me. But it's not impossible if you're already self medicated and you want help. Just call. There's a lot of places you can call to get help. And sometimes just call 911. It's the best way to go about it. If you're feeling sad and you feel like you're alone, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. A lot of people have the mental health and have a hard time in life. A lot of people, including me. You're not alone. You have you have you have you have a lot of other people that are going through the same thing you're going through. So hang on a little tighter. Keep keep walking down that road till you see the light, because at the light at the end of the tunnel is the best. I'm telling you. And one more thing, God will test you in your faith. He will. And you may not see it, but as long as you stay with Him, then you're passing the test. You have to be able to see the test and stay with God through it. Like right now, you may be going through the worst time in your life, and God's just testing you to see if you're going to stick with Him. I'm telling you, stick with God. He will get you through it. Everything's hard for a reason, but they're always. But on the other side, when you look back on them hard times, you're going to be given thanks for the good times. Trust me. And that's why God does that. So you can look back on the hard times and be like, I'm so thankful that I got through that. And I'm here now. I have to keep going forward in the right way. That's the reason why God gives you these tests and makes. And sometimes life is hard, but you just gotta look towards to the future. It won't be hard for long.